So I recently covered the 5 best wireless gaming headsets. And if you're looking for a wireless gaming headset, please go check that video out. There are some good ones on there for sure. And next week, I'm going to be talking about the 5 best gaming keyboards. And spoiler alert, yes, the SteelSeries Apex Pro Gen 3 wireless is going to be on that list. And another spoiler alert is I'm going to be giving one of them away, a brand new SteelSeries Apex Pro wireless. I will be giving away in that video, so make sure to sub up and hit that notification bell for that one. But in this video, we're going to be talking about the 5 best gaming mice. And I am just briefly going to be going over these 5 mice here. If you want a deep, detailed dive into any of these mice, I did do standalone reviews on them all, so make sure to go check out those if you're interested in a specific one. And first on my list here is going to be Zowie and their recent releases of their wireless mice. We're looking at the ZA13DW here, and if we can't put some love behind Zowie, like, we're doing something wrong, right? They are the innovators of shape. And talking about Zowie in their shapes, they just do it right. Again, we're looking at the ZA13 here, which is a little bit too small for me, but I can still really utilize it. Now, of course, Zowie, they released their S1, their FK, and all those other ones in wireless. I'm just waiting for them to release some of their bigger shapes. But talking about the ZA over here, the 13, looking at underneath the heat signature camera, I want to talk about and show you what I mean here. And the heat signature really solidifies that. I show this in all of my mice videos as well. So you can see right here on the back, I'm getting a little bit kind of like an ergo, and then around, if I swoop it around this way, you're going to see also some more heat signature on the side. Now it's not filling it all up and coming too far up here because, again, yes, I am kind of relaxed clawing this mouse. If you got a smaller hand, you're definitely going to be able to pull it in the back of your palm for sure. Myself is more relaxed claw and then again fingertip and kind of flicking and dipping this mouse. But talking about Zowie shapes again, they're so versatile and again universal across many mice and grip styles. And as far as the weight of the Zowie mice, again looking at the ZAW13, we're coming at 64.9 grams, and looking at a lot of other mice, or heck even other mice on this list, this will be the heaviest out of them. But again, I really think that 65 grams is that sweet spot. It's not too light, not too heavy. It just, again, it feels perfectly balanced. It feels quality. You got that great build. It's, again, what you expect from Zowie. And one of the other things I absolutely love about Zowie mice is the features packed into it, where everything's controlled right on the mouse. As you see, you can switch it over here from the dock to your basic dongle, which you get both in the box, your DPI, your polling rate. You can cycle everything, your lift-off distance, everything right on the mouse, no software needed. But again, I really love this dock. You just take it, bam, set it down and charge it up, so you really never have to worry about charging. It's just such a great, simplistic mouse. Now, as far as the performance on the new Zowie wireless mice, which I use the S1, the FK, and the ZA here, which again, all of them are fairly small for me, but focusing on core performance, button feel, the presses, no give, no flex, no nothing like that. The performance was butter smooth, using it with wireless headset and keyboards, no hiccups, delays, or anything. Again, the performance on these new Zowie wireless mice are flawless. I just, again, really hope they release them all refreshed with their bigger sizes as well. I'm super excited for that. Now, the new Zowie wireless mice are going to come in at $150. Again, you can get multiple shapes out there, and these mice are an easy, hands down recommend. The next mouse I want to show you is the ROG Harp Ace Extreme. This is their carbon fiber release this year. And let me tell you what, this mouse is just awesome. It really is. It feels good in the hand. It's really cool to get that carbon fiber, even though on the side they went plastic here, which is a little bit of a stinker. I wish they went completely carbon fiber, but wow, this mouse from Asus is truly awesome. Now, the size and shape of the Harp Ace Extreme here is a little interesting because it is quite a long mouse, but it's not a very wide mouse. And it throws me off a little bit right there, right? Because I can definitely dance around with this. I can pull it in the back of my hand, but when I pull it in the back of my hand, I'm kind of pinching it a little bit here. Yes, I do wish they made a little bit of a bigger version, but you all know me, I prefer big mice, right? But this is just really nice to see, again, something in between. It's longer, but it's slimmer, you know what I mean? Usually you see fatter, wider, you know, everything right there, but having a different combination is something unique and different, which I actually do like. And when I get it in my hand, again, I can put that hump in the back of my palm. It feels like the bigger ZA that we're just coming off of, actually. And pulling it underneath the heat signature camera here, let's go ahead and get us lit up. Bam, we're gonna pull it off. Let me get it under there a little more. And look at all that in the back, in the hump right there. Like seriously, all the way back there. If you look on this side, it's pretty much just prominent right there. You got that bubble where that hump is hitting you in the back. And then we're going up to the buttons. So no joke, hopefully that really shows you how much that hump can truly sit in the back of your hand. Now, if you want to flick and dip this, you can as well. You just pull it back a little bit more here, which plays into those side buttons. So if you get over here, gonna fingertip this mouse, you're really gonna only have access to that back button. I find myself, if I want to use that front one, I really got to stretch my whole hand up to get to that front one. I do wish these back buttons were scooched back a little bit there. Now, as far as the weight of this mouse, just to be clear, I do have the grips on the side and I did put the bigger feet on the bottom. Slapping it on the scale, we are going to come in at 48.8 grams. So really nice to see, again, with the bigger feet and the grips on it, still coming in incredibly lightweight and seriously balanced. Like it just feels like an extension of your hand. Now, as far as performance on the Asus mouse here, absolutely flawless. Again, as you're going to notice with just about all of these mice, all modern mice are pretty much butter smooth across the board. Again, this one going up to 8,000 polling rate. I really only leave mine at 4,000 to keep it perfectly smooth. Again, we can talk polling rate, latency and stuff, and all those minute differences, the majority of us aren't going to be able to notice. Take a look at your internet speed and your ping before you look at that stuff within your mouse, you know. But I will tell you what, this Asus mouse, again, totally flawless and butter smooth. Now, there is one thing I really don't like about this mouse, and that is the MSRP of $250. Oh my goodness, it is the most expensive one on this list. Now, the next mouse I'm going to show you is the Logitech G Pro Superlight 2 Dex, aka the Dex. Let's just call it the Logitech Dex. No need for all that other nonsense, or also the G703. It feels just like that mouse. Well, not so much just like the G703. I would say the Dex feels much, much better than a G703. The 703 had that really sharp hump in the middle right there. This one's definitely rounded out a whole lot more comfortable. If you like the G Pro Superlight, but you wanted that in ergo format, that's what you have right here. Oh man, it fits like a glove. You put your hand on it and just falls into place. Whew, wow, I really love this. You know what? Let me pull over the heat signature camera here, zoom out a little bit so you can actually see, and hopefully this is gonna solidify that. So let me get it in the grip I would use, which is pretty much relaxed, almost in that palm right there, kind of like a claw / palm. I don't know, we're gonna call this a full palm? Anyways, this is gonna be my heat signature, transferring over this. Bam, let's pull it underneath the camera here and release, and you're gonna see, like, holy smokes, look at that. From my fingers to the back, right back here in that hump, over to the other side, up on the middle right there. Let's swoop it around and you're gonna see it flowing right over there as well. It's, again, like I mentioned, a glove, because again, you can see that heat signature going all the way around it, and putting your hand on it, it just fits amazing. Like, oh my gosh, this mouse is so comfortable. Now, this mouse is also pretty darn basic, as you're used to the G Pro. You have no DPI button or anything on. You got your power switch, and that's really it. You can store your dongle right underneath this little puck, or use it on a power play mat, which those mats suck. They really need to update those. But other than that, it's, again, just basic core solid mouse to the point. One thing I do not like are these feet, by the way. I wish they were a little bit bigger. Again, they just kind of sit right into that frame, so some replacement feet would definitely be beneficial, as if you use a softer surface, you're going to feel that pop-up, that little lip going around the skates, dig into your surface. So that's the one downfall of this mouse. Now, taking a look at the weight of the Logitech G Pro Dex, I'm going to leave the puck in the bottom, as that is how I primarily use this mouse, and slapping on the scale, we're getting 58.7. If you want to see what it is without the puck, we'll pop that out here, and we're going to get 56.7. So not a big difference there by any means, but still, being a bigger ergo mouse, again, truly balanced, and once you get it in your hand, you don't notice the weight at all, because again, it's like a glove. Now, as far as performance on the Logitech Dex here, again, butter smooth, flawless. The switch is crispy, right to the point, no give or anything. They don't feel super heavy like the Logitech G Pro Wireless 2. These feel actually pretty darn nice. The main thing, again, as I mentioned, that I don't like are the stinking feet. If you're using a softer pad, you will feel that sink in there and kind of create some drag. That's not core performance of the tech in it. That's just, again, performance whenever you're using it. I use a glass pad a lot lately, but again, still those feet stink. The performance of the mouse is absolutely solid, just maybe update them feet. Now the Logitech G Pro Dex, being a newer mouse, it does come in at $160, which is a little bit steep. We're seeing most mice being $150 these days. Now the next mouse on this list almost made it as my mouse of the year, which is actually not the Razer Death Adder V3 Pro, but the Razer Viper V3 Pro. I think it is the Logitech G Pro killer. And I'd like to sit here and say the main point of that is the shape, which yes, this shape is phenomenal. It's a little bit bigger, hence the reason I like it. If you like something smaller, I still think that G Pro is going to be your way to go. But even with this shape here, it's just so universal. I can pull it in the back of my hand. I can dance it around up here. The buttons are in the exact perfect spot no matter how I'm gripping it. It feels premium. The build is great. The skates are great. Everything about this mouse is phenomenal. Now let's pull over the heat signature and let me show you more about this shape. As I'm getting in my hand here, and you know what? How would I use this usually? It's kind of hard to say because I really use it in so many different versatile grips. But I'm going to show you in this one here, if I'm playing faster in Call of Duty and stuff, pulling underneath the heat camera here, bam, I'm pulling it off. You can see I'm getting a little bit back by that hump, a little bit of space up here before my fingers drop down as I'm getting that kind of claw on over there. Coming over to this side, you're still seeing I'm getting some of that palm back there. Now, if I want, I can pull this even further in the back of my hand. If I'm just, messing around, playing slow, I can pull it back there, and it's still pretty darn comfortable if I want to pull it into my palm. I would say it gets a little bit thin right there. You wish for a little more flare out if you're talking ergo. But anyways, pulling this underneath the heat camera here, looking at that, and you can see it's definitely filling out the back. It's coming down further into the palm now than what we just saw. But again, even if you didn't do that, I don't know if I can get some of this heat off here real quick, but if you wanted to just fingertip it, you can, and it won't touch any of your hand in there. So again, this mouse is so versatile. Again, I think my palm heat still might be on there, so I'm not really going to be able to show you that, but anyways, I can get it on here without any of my palm touching the back of the mouse. Now, as far as the weight of the Razer Viper V3 Pro, it is going to come in at 54.8 grams here. And let me tell you what, again, perfectly balanced. You're seeing all this weight balancing within mice really good these days. But talking about this, seeing it in bigger mice, it's just perfect with the bigger feet and everything. By the way, one other thing, if you get the black version, you kind of got that traditional black coating, kind of like you're used to with the Death Adder. Actually, this is the one with the soft coating here. But anyways, if you get the white one, you got this really nice soft touch. So I do recommend you go with the white one here. It just feels very nice and very grippy in the hands. Now, as far as the Razer Viper V3 Pro, as far as performance, again, butter smooth, completely solid, no issues whatsoever from the buttons. All of my extensive time using this mouse, the buttons still feel like they just came out of the box. They are crispy, right to the point, not too heavy. Again, keeping this mouse at 4,000 polling rate, butter smooth. I really like Synapse 4, the new updated Synapse, so I don't got to restart and refresh all the time, and I can customize it however I want. So again, really cool what Razer is doing here. They're definitely becoming more consumer focused, kind of listening to what we're asking for. Just kind of wish their prices would reduce a little bit, but I wish that with everything. But again, no joke, this Razer mouse is top tier performance. Now the Razer Viper V3 Pro comes in at $155, and let me tell you what, that's pretty much what we're seeing here, right? Minus that Asus mouse, and this mouse is totally worth it. Now for the mouse of the year is going to go to Pulsar as a whole. I just love what they do for the space, innovation, creativity, and constant refreshes. And that really shows within these three mice here, being the X-Lite V4, the new refreshed one, the X2H, but this is more or less their custom line they came out with. I did a whole video showing about this. This is super cool. You can adjust your scroll wheel, your switches, of course, your cosmetics, the battery. You can really customize a mouse to your liking, not just cosmetics, but also the internals. And then, of course, the Feynman mouse. It's like, holy smokes, like seeing something like this, even though it wasn't a mouse for me, it's so cool seeing, again, what Pulsar does across the board. Innovation, creativity, and constant updates. Now, as I mentioned, the Feynman was not a mouse for me, but these two are, being the X2H and the X-Lite. More importantly, the X-Lite, as I love a big Ergo mouse. I mean, it's just so nice. It fits in the hand perfect. If you love Ergo, this is one you need. If you haven't purchased an X-Lite yet, go get one now. It is that darn good. If you like Zowie EC shape, that's what you have right here. It's so good, and it's refreshed now with the V4. Now, coming over here to the X2H, this is something a little more versatile. If I want to get a little faster, I can really dance around with this one, but I still have that hump back there, kind of ZA-ish, right? This is wider than the ZA, but you got that hump back there, so I can still get my Ergo vibes, but still play really quick with this mouse. Oh my gosh, I just absolutely love it. It's such a versatile mouse, you know, where I still get my Ergo love, but I can still dance around with it. You know what? Let me show you over here in the heat camera. Let's get that zoom out again here, and I'm going to show you both of these. You know what? Let's start with the X-Lite, because that's, of course, my favorite here. So getting this in my hand, of course, it's a full palm. This is all up in there, right? So pulling this and putting it underneath the camera. Let me show you this here. Like, holy smokes, look at that. From there up to the top, all the way to the side, and then again with those buttons up front there. Coming over here to this side, you can see it's flowing with all of my fingers. Take a look at this over here. So you got that hump, and you can see the side of my palm flowing with the side of it. That's what you want out of a good Ergo mouse. Again, it's for it to really hit you on all sides of the hand, so you can get those steady shots and really lock it in. Now let's go on and take a look at the X2H, as this one, again, I'll start with my fingertips. So hopefully we can get a heat signature on this as we could on the other one, because my heat just stayed on it. So I can, again, dance this around, get a nice fingertip on here, and you can see it right there. I'm getting a little heat transfer through there as that hump does touch me in the back of the palm occasionally. But again, I'm really just getting those grips on the sides, but I can take this mouse and really pull it into the back of my palm. So you're truly going to see that heat transfer through as it's sitting in the back. And my fingers aren't, again, engulfing the mouse, as they can still truly sit on it right here. So pull this over into the heat camera and take a look at this palm now. Like, holy smokes, it's almost covered, right? You got that whole hump back there. You're kind of flowing up to the side like an Ergo mouse, but I got all that gap, all that space up there, unlike a big Ergo where it's going to flow through a little bit. That's what's really going to separate this whenever you're using it. So it's kind of like more or less a claw grip, but it's really cool because you can get a really nice, relaxed, comfortable claw grip with this mouse. Very universal. Now let's go and take a look at the weight of both these mice, and starting with the X-Lite, again, this is the V4 here. And slapping it on a scale, we're getting 54 grams. Absolutely perfectly balanced. Like, whew, this mouse is an absolute gem. Coming over here to the X2H, this is again my custom one, and I got the middle line battery, and then I have the, holy smokes, the Kale pink dot switches, I think, not the opticals, which the new X-Lite has the opticals, and this one's coming in at 56.2. Again, it just feels perfect in the hand. I really think like this 55, 60 gram weight is that perfect sweet spot. Now, as far as performance on the Pulsar mice, the one thing you're gonna notice different compared to some of the other mice is they do not include the high polling rate dongle. That is an extra, I believe, 15 or 20 bucks, and then you go up to 4,000 or 8,000 depending which mouse you have right there. Now, I've been using my X-Lite V4 with 1,000 polling rate, and it's been absolutely flawless, but I also tested it at 4,000 polling rate, and like I always state, I can't tell a stinking difference. You know what I mean? It's absolutely flawless across the board. Same with the X2H, my custom one I've been using, or heck, even the Feynman mouse. All Pulsar mice just work flawlessly, and I really do like how they don't shove that high-speed dongle down your throat, right? Many other manufacturers doing it. It's a hype of the internet right now, so it's kind of like, okay, here it is if you need it, but do you really need it? Think about that, you know? Do you just want to follow hype, or do you want to maybe save yourself 20 bucks and buy a different game or something? And the best thing about the Pulsar mice is they don't break the bank. You can get the new X-Lite V4, the new refreshed one, for only 99 bucks. It gets even better for the Pulsar mice. Looking at the X-Lite V3 or the X2H, you can get them on Amazon for 70 bucks right now. Like, holy smokes, those are still amazing mice. The V4, yeah, it is refreshed with the sensor and switches and stuff, but the V3 is still hands down amazing. For 70 bucks, it's a no-brainer. The X2H and the V3 are ones you need, and again, the price is definitely fair. I gotta say, in the mouse space, Pulsar gets not just Mouse of the Year, but Company of the Year. So there we go. Those are my 5 favorite gaming mice of this year. But again, as I stated in the beginning of this video, this is just a brief summary. I just briefly went over these mice. If you want a deep dive, switches, sound test, this, that, or the other, make sure to go check out the standalone reviews of each of them. I dive deep into all of them and I'll answer every question you have. And I also want to hear, what is your favorite mouse currently or favorite mice? Let me know down in the comments. And again, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell because we got the top 5 gaming keyboards coming up soon and you might be able to win this bad boy. But thank you so much for coming by for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope it was beneficial. If it was, please hit that thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and I hope to catch you in the next one. Bye now.